Weapon balance. It's probably not the first thing you think about when you hear talk about shooters, but it's very important, since it literally relies on how much weapons are liked or used by players. So it's required to do it right in each shooter you plan to do it in. But did SAR make this balance right? Well, this is a question we're gonna answer today. Hi Keepers, Rorro here, and today we're gonna talk about SAR's weapon balance and why it's important. Take a seat and enjoy, because this video is gonna take a long time from you. Let's start. So, SAR has 19 weapons, and with new update as well as new weapon, 20. But we're not gonna talk about all of them here, mostly because they're either balanced not bad, either just a reskin of an old weapon with tweak of stats. Instead, to not take your time on useless stuff, we're gonna talk about only weapons that are easy to notice balance issues with. Let's start with something hot. Shotgun. And if you look at stats, everything is pretty clear. Why this weapon is broken. 160 damage, fast shooting speed, as well as 5 ammo makes this weapon just undefeatable. The only its weakness is range, and even that was not always. Of course, someone can raise up such question. Isn't max damage gets lowered with each pixel bullets cross the screen? Yes, they actually do, but even there is a twist. The minimal damage of the weapon is 10, but in action it won't happen to you. The minimal damage you will mostly get is 60, which is already pretty high and not always survivable, especially if second weapon is focused on range. Oh, did I also mention that this weapon is literally making every vehicle in the game useless because of high damage? Well, now you know. Of course, Pixile don't see their mistakes for 6 years of SAR's game development and all other fixes that are absolutely not touching anything major. But Rorro, if Pixel didn't fix the weapon for a long time already, then maybe it doesn't have a right fix to keep it fun and powerful. That's not true. To be honest, balancing shotgun and shooters is very hard but never impossible. And from my experience, I saw only one actually good realization of shotgun balance in game. So the answer to make shotgun fun and powerful is lower damage. Yes, it may sound crazy, but hear me out. Shotgun already has a very short shooting speed, so why not lower damage and focus on that feature? Lowering damage to 110 would encourage players to come closer, yet still not relying on a weapon like it's one-shot killing machine. Also, because of small weight, it may become from damage-focused weapon to movement-focused weapon, and it's perfectly fine. Bow did that, and I think it's the best weapon in games. We'll get back to it later. So there you go, fair balance to other close range weapons and still fun weapon to play on. Said that Pixel didn't figure that out themselves for like 6 years already. But that is the only one weapon broken so much, there's still two more to go. Sniper. To be honest, I think that this weapon is literally have no ways to counter unless skill issue of enemy. But what went absolutely wrong? Hunting rifle did pretty well by giving sniper, which is still powerful, yet because of bullet speed, avoidable. Fair balance actually. So, sniper was supposed to be like his bro. But it didn't happen. If you look at throw stats, you can see a pretty interesting picture. Bullet speed has improved as well as damage, and weapon has a magazine that has 5 bullets. So nothing seems to be wrong, right? Well, no. We already had an experience with shotgun which turned out to be a very broken weapon, and from that we already know that Pixel are very bad at balancing weapons, right? And sniper is actually not a bad example of this. From now on, you need to remember this. Each factor in weapon balance is important, either that abilities, damage, or magazine. Bullet speed has improved and that became a problem. See, with hunting rifle, if you time your jump right, you can actually avoid bullet multiple times almost no matter the distance. With snipers that won't work already. Bullet became faster and because of that, even if you time your jump just in a second of the shot, you will still get shot, which basically makes shots unavoidable unless it's luck or skill issue as mentioned earlier. Shooting speed is also improved, but then game introduced inaccuracy. In short terms, shoot rapid fire from sniper, your shots are not 100% accurate, and you need to either make a gamble and hit or miss, either wait a little after shot to shoot more accurate. And gotta say that this gamble is quite weird because when you pull out the gun, the inaccuracy doesn't appear, which makes switching weapon fast to get better accuracy is possible. Yet this is rarely used by people. No offense, yet I still think that it possibly doesn't do much. Anyway, weapon has counter issues that are right now not fixed. Like with shotgun, gonna make my take on balance of this weapon. Make bullet speed same as hunting rifle. This is supposed to keep weapon's power, yet still keep its ability to be counterable. Again, Pixile are not smart enough to do so. Well, two down, one more to go. Never thought I was gonna say it, but there is one more weapon that is in my opinion became super broken. BCG. Before its release it was, well, just a funny replacement of grenade launcher and that's it. But then with some season passed, I started feeling like BCG became stronger in damage. But when I looked up on SAR's wiki, there was nothing about it. The only changes were either damage range, either reload. So when actually someone talks about fixing BCG in SARS social media, no one cares about it. So it became basically ignored, but I didn't ignore that. When I looked up on older videos in time of BCG release, there was a small amount of them, but they were. And my suspects were right. Before with armor, weapon was giving only 25 damage. So what pixel changed that much that weapon balance increased on 2 times and Wiki has nothing about it? Well, I find out what it is. See, weapon special ability is 75% armor penetration, and from 25 damage, it's it's pretty noticeable. But what would happen if you turn that feature off? You will get full damage no matter the armor, and that is what we see in BCG right now. I do not know for sure if that was just a bug that Pixel missed, or Pixel made it intentionally, but it affected the gameplay as well as metas for sure. Looking at stats, it's pretty easy to understand why damage with armor was so much nerfed before updates. Bullets bounce off the walls, leave small flowing field after shot, and have not a bad range of the bullet after the shot. That's already too much for abilities on one weapon, but it has one more, which was, I suppose, firstly discovered by Tim, that BCG's eggs, like throwables, can be tossed through awesome obstacles. Add to that 5 ammo and pretty fast reload. Yeah, that was definitely made to compensate low damage on armor. But with removal of its special, weapon became way more stronger and even more broken than all existing broken weapons. It was looking like Pixel's experiment to see if people would make it as a new meta and praise the Lord for it. But it didn't work. Probably the main reason why BCG is barely even used by players is the fact that in most cases it's just useless. Rarity is pretty high, so you either gamble with rebel crates to get it, either hunting it from mall crate, which is already famous to be the most dangerous place on map since tons of players go there. And once you get it, you barely have place to actually use it. The whole map design makes shooting even worse in some places, and for BCG it's way worse than you think. Add to that fact that this weapon is not always reliable and can even hurt you in process of shooting, then it gets all in place. All broken weapons are mostly reliable and useful in 80% of such situations, including also the fact that their rarity is not really high and you can find them almost everywhere. So no wonder that it was powerful, but nobody cared. Yet I still do not deny the fact that it's broken far too much from the update, and I think that its main special ability should return back. So, from 3 weapons so far, we can already see that balance of weapons in SAR is at a very bad state right now. But not every weapon in game is overbuffed that much. Sometimes weapons can get debuffed so much that they are barely powerful against other weapons, or simply what happened to SMG here. Seriously, If you played in shooters, what do you think about when you hear word SMG? It's probably a fast shooting weapon that gets compensated by small damage and also has a not a small magazine and fast reload. Well, SAR's SMG is literally everything what normal SMG isn't. Instead of low damage, you have 35 damage like a K and mid shooting speed while having a magazine of 25 bullets and mid reload. And gotta say to you that SMG is literally bullied by Pixile and SAR, like not any other weapons I've seen so far. High damage, huh? Well, does it affect anything in gameplay?
Nope.
Why? Simple. Because in order to get to the HP, you need to break armor first. And you already know that it has a mid shooting speed, so breaking armor takes almost forever. What a bad mix. But even that is not all. Remember I told before that each factor in weapon balance matters? Well, here is also a good example. Weapon for some damn reason has a high range, and I completely do not understand why it exists. Firstly, damage that is already low gets lowered even more with bigger distance it crosses. But to make matters worse, bullet speed is so slow that hitting someone on a distance with SMG turns from maybe possible to an actual nightmare. And people started slowly realizing all the problems and asking for fixes. But oh my god. Pixel did something absolutely awful. They released double pistols, which are literally a better version of SMG, which people asked about before. 40 damage in close range, improved shooting speed. Heck, they even improved bullet speed but kept the damage range, which is still useless. 20 bullets are the only weakness, but because of 40 damage, I don't think it's such a deal. Pixel just replaced SMG with a better weapon so people would stop complaining and switch to the better weapon. But with new weapon, Pixel went even further. Not just only they decided that one weapon that is better than SMG is not enough, but they also killed off the only reason that's left why pro players were actually using SMG. After I questioned a lot of SAR-tubers about the reason why they use SMG, the most common answer I got was it destroys armor fast. And the new weapon Super 8 Laser just does its job even better. Super fast shooting speed that destroys armor in the amount of a blink, 25 damage which is mostly compensated by shooting speed, and again freaking range. And you know what? Damage on range almost doesn't change at all. Add to that another 50 ammo into the magazine and boom, you have again a better SMG. This is already disgusting from Pixel's side in my opinion. I'm a huge fan of SMG shooters and the way Pixel made SMG here is just far too painful for me to watch. Okay, so through all of these we see that Pixel are making awful weapon balance in game and it even relies on the gameplay itself. But they're in indie studios, they're just not knowing how to make balance right. Well, that is what I thought. If not, started digging into weapon balance more and more and found super underrated weapon of all. Yes, I'm talking about a weapon that is not talked about in Source community almost never but definitely deserve attention. I'm talking about bow and sparrow. This weapon is fucking amazing, and here's why. Weapon has 50 damage on players without armor, but with armor it gives only 25. It leaves a marker on the person you shot, so you see him through the walls for a short time. It's super useful when you try to catch enemy on your grenade, since predicting is easy with it. It doesn't have a magazine, so you don't need to reload after shooting out all bullets, and reload is so fast that it has the same speed as making a super roll. So you can just shoot, roll, shoot, and repeat the system until the enemy is dead. But even that is not all. It even has a load system. The longer you load, the longer bullet flies. And this system is the reason why it requires skill. See, because of shooting delay, when this system combines with the load system, it mostly can work not correctly, which can result in not shooting at all after load. That's why people think it's unreliable and definitely not want to use it. But in my opinion, it is pretty avoidable and with more time it's gonna be unnoticeable for you. Yet weapons still can shoot fast with high damage in a close range, So that its weakness that makes weapon counterable and not broken. So if weapon is that good, then why people not take this weapon and prefer to use something they already know? Well, remember at the start told that weapon balance strongly relies on which weapon is taken the most and least? Well, sadly, this is the case here. Because of the fact that shotgun and sniper are more powerful than other weapons in game, and mostly do not have an ability to be countered, players prefer to take a more powerful but not fun weapon instead of not that powerful but fun weapon. And that is the case with all weapons in game in total. Why the heck would you want to take a dart gun or a K when you can just take shotgun and sniper and every time and destroy people using them? See? Told you. That's why weapon balance is important, and the first shooters understood that. Take CS 1.6 for example. Devs there didn't knew how to make a better weapon balance, so they used the one existed in real life, and it worked out. Every weapon was useful in its own way, and everything was in peace with the weapons. Same with all other shooters which decided to follow that balanced idea. And that's why all weapons in shooters are useful, and you just want to combine them to get a better combo of damage and defense. But I don't see that in Super Animal Royale. SAR's weapon balance is mostly went into the broken balance of Crunker.io where one weapon could destroy every single other weapon in game. But if devs of Crunker knew what they were going for, then Pixile or not, they just thought it would be cool to do so and did it without any experience or consequences for their actions. But right now I think that they're stuck into the circle and can't do anything, and it's all because of you. Yes, it's all because of the community. Community in games is like the heart of the game, and it's great if your community in game is good, but there also may be problems. See, players started abusing broken weapons from the beginning of SAR and started doing impossible things with it. That is what stopped Pixel from fixing them. And if they would, these impossible kills would disappear and community would lose a huge part of tryhards who play every day with these weapons. That's why that's why Pixel are not changing anything for 6 years already. They clearly know what they have done before, but they can't go back anymore. That's why all of these balance issues are none other but the community's fault. Right now, I do not know if Pixel are ready to break this cycle and listen to the players for real, but I know only one. Until this bad balance exists, the game will stand fair with player and keep being fun. So after all that, do you really think that SAR's weapon balance was made good?